and gentlemen, Newcastle County Executive Chris Coons.
Thank you. Thank you, folks. Thank you so very, very much. Thank you very, very much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for this incredible day. I'm sure you're all wondering why we've gathered here today. It is a great day to be a Delawarean. It is a great day to be a Delaware Democrat. Weren't the August Quarterly Choir and the Del State Choir incredible? Could we give a round of applause to the inspirational August Quarterly Choir and the Del State Choir? And I know you've heard some amazing comments today from our Governor, Jack Markell, from our next Congressman, John Carney, from Senator Ted Kaufman, from Senator Tom Carper. What a great program and what a great day. Please, a round of applause for these good folks. You know, ever since the primary here, there's been a lot more attention to this race in little old Delaware. Lots of media from all over the country and recently the world asking about lots of other issues. But while the opponent I'm facing on November 2nd has changed, the issues that I'm focused on in this election haven't. I'm focused on the same thing I know you're focused on. I'm focused on the 35,000 Delawareans who are without work today, the 3,000 who face foreclosure in their homes. I'm focused on getting our state and our country back to work. And folks, as I've gone up and down this state and listened to folks and spoken over the last 9 months, I've said over and over, and this is what I want to go fight for in Washington. I want these 6 words to mean something again. Made in the USA, manufactured in Delaware. I understand what happened in the Republican primary. There's people up and down this state who are angry. They're frustrated. They're mad. They feel disconnected from the endless partisan bickering in Washington, and they are concerned. But as I've met with folks and listened to them, some have said to me what they want is to take America back. And that's not where I come from. That's not where I think you come from. Together, we want to take America forward. Now, I take very seriously the idea that this election is a job interview. I want to go to work for you. And I think it's important for us to look at both candidates in the campaign I'm currently in. I spent 8 years working for one of Delaware's most innovative manufacturing companies. I've spent 6 years running our second largest government. I've made hard choices. I've delivered unbalanced budgets. I know what it's like to grow up in hard times and in good times. And I deeply care about this country. And I think our point, whether you're running for local office, for statewide office, for federal office, is to make sure that as many families here in Delaware have a chance at a good job, at a good education for their children, at a strong and bright future. My opponent is someone who sees our society and our government in a fundamentally different way than I do. I believe in ideas. She offers ideology. She says government really has no role. She believes so strongly in this that in our race, she's proposed privatizing the Veterans Administration, saying to those who served and defended our country, thanks for your service, now here, go find yourself a doctor. She's proposed ending or extending the eligibility age for Social Security for those who've earned their way into retirement, saying let's move those goalposts further and further down the field. I don't believe that the federal government has a role in our bedrooms or our private lives. How you live, who you love, How you exercise those rights to me is all about life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. I think the government does not have that role. But I do think our government has an appropriate role in protecting the environment, in protecting investors, in supporting our veterans, in building our economy in partnership with a vibrant private sector. My opponent believes the opposite. She doesn't believe government ought to be protecting the environment. Her mantra is drill, baby, drill. She doesn't believe the government should be protecting investors. It's buyer beware. But I think, folks, at the end of the day, this fight is joined, and the lines are clear. And I hope all of you, I know all of you, get just how important this race, this election is for our state and for our country. And over the last few weeks, as I've been up and down this state, I've seen lots of folks in passing, old friends, folks who've been engaged in local government and volunteerism and service, and many of them have said to me, hey, give me a call. You need some help? Give me a call. I'm calling. Today, I'm calling. We, all of us who stood here today, are calling on you to say, now is the time to stand up, to get out, and to share with your friends and your family what are the stakes in this election. And of all the people I called, of all the people I asked for help and support, I am most grateful to our Vice President and our President who are joining us here today. The last time I was here, the last time I was on this stage, I was on a riser with lots of other Delaware local electeds watching Michelle Obama deliver one of the most incredible, one of the most inspiring, one of the most powerful and moving speeches I have ever heard in my entire life. And I'm sorry, Mr. President, but frankly, we both married up. Michelle, the First Lady, speaking about her husband, now our president, speaking about the issues at stake in that election in 2008 was incredible. She was inspiring. She was moving. And then not much longer, on a beautiful day just like this, I joined with so many of you out in Rodney Square to hear from then candidate, now President, Barack Obama. And that day I was moved, as have so many who had volunteered, who had worked, and who later voted for change in 2008 to believe in the possibility of progress and of change. And folks, more than ever, we now need to get to work together to make real that change, to deliver on that change, and to move forward on that change. We have only 18 days left till Election Day. I need you to connect with your friends and your family to remind us of what they have fought and served for to build a greater and stronger community. Scripture teaches us that of those to whom much is given is much required. We've been given a great deal in this country. Freedom, opportunity, the vote. These are things, though, that were not given. They were not given easily. They were hard won. They are things that folks who came before us, folks who are serving today overseas, fought for. They are things that are ours today, our inheritance, only because of sacrifice, only because of struggle, only because of others who stood up and demanded, asked for, fought for, worked for change. So please, as we go forward in these next 18 days, don't forget that fight. And don't leave out your voice and your vote. We know something about fighters, folks, here in Delaware. We know something about Governor Jack Markell, who's fighting to bring our economy back. We know something about John Carney, who grew up in Claymont in a big family and has fought for our middle class and for alternative energy his whole life and is fighting to be our next congressman. For Ted Kaufman, who has been a great senator and who has fought to make Wall Street reform real. Our Attorney General, Beau Biden, who has fought to make true the promise of justice in this state. And our senior senator, Tom Carper, who has worked tirelessly for veterans, for economic development and education reform. We have fighters here in Delaware. And I am so honored, so grateful to be joining you today in the fight that matters most, the fight to keep moving this country forward. It's my honor, please.